everybody, my name is Eunice Mathis. I'm a registered nurse and I'm also the owner of Florida Training Academy. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about life after foreclosures with the S, life after bankruptcy. I've had to go through both. I lost multiple properties around 2008. I had rental properties plus my primary residence, and I even had commercial land. And I lost everything except for my personal property at that time, my personal residence. And one of the main reasons that I lost everything was because my tenants couldn't afford to pay their rents, either because they lost their jobs, they changed employment. And one of my properties, I actually had squatters. They turned it into a trap house. So I was just crazy. I didn't know who to turn to. I didn't know who to speak with. No one openly spoke about their finances. And so I kind of felt like I was an island unto myself. And I did what any nurse would do at the time who was really stressed out. I took a travel assignment. I tried to run away from my problems, made some money, came back, went ahead and ended the lease of the property, the residence that I had, my primary residence, which I was renting out at that time to somebody on Section 8. And so I still had at least a primary place to stay, but my credit was destroyed, horrible. During that time, if I needed money from anybody, of course, nobody was going to let me borrow any money. And I think that, I failed and I could have been wrong, that some people were actually finding joy in the situation that I was going through, because I was usually the one who was always giving people money. I was the provider. I was the one that the family looked up to an extent. But whenever the lead person is the one who's going through, there's usually no one to help us. So we're just, there going through things, no one to talk to. We'll figure it out. We have faith in God. So that's pretty much where I was. And so now I moved back into my starter home, my first home. Fast forward some years later, and I find out that I'm pregnant. Okay, and I'm married, and so I didn't want my son to be born knowing that I had probably at that time $500,000 in real estate debt, not including whatever credit cards I had from all those properties. And so I made the decision, which was best for me, to go ahead and consult with a bankruptcy attorney. And so I filed bankruptcy. So when I tell you I lost everything twice, I literally did. I lost all the properties except for my primary property initially. I filed bankruptcy, so of course I have a cash-only existence, and now, the bankruptcy is about to be discharged. I filed Chapter 7, which stays on your credit for 10 years. Didn't really need to buy anything because I had a car that was paid off, so I actually had to pay back some money. I had to pay back maybe like $5,000, and I had to do that within a year. And that was so that I guess I can keep my car. Correct? I don't remember at this point because it's been, 2000. I think that was 2011, 2012 when it was discharged. At the end of the discharge, I'm checking my credit report. And I'm like, why don't I see my house, the mortgage that I've been paying, when I didn't matter what was going on, I was still paying the mortgage on my primary residence. Why wasn't it reporting? And so that's when Countrywide was still in existence. I contacted Countrywide and they were like, well, we didn't reassume your mortgage, or you didn't reassume your mortgage. So I'm like, so all the money I've been paying you, I don't get any credit for. And they said that they'd have to pretty much refinance me. And at that time, the houses were underwater. I owed more on my property than it was actually worth. And there was a program that the Obama administration had, which was deed in lieu of foreclosure, where literally they would pay you like $3,000 to move out of your property as long as you kept it in good condition. So pretty much I moved out, and within a week later, whoever had purchased it already had a for sale sign on the property. But that gave me a way out. I think they gave me like $3,000. It took about 30 days. And so now, I have a son. I'm like, hey, I can survive for 3 years. I know I can get another house. And I did within 3 years after bankruptcy, had another house. And but then from there, I went from living in a house, went to having all these properties, to now living in an apartment here or a townhome there. And the way that people treat you changes. You're already a single mom, but now you're a single mom who's lost everything. And so some of that stigma that's attached to bankruptcy or to foreclosures, you will feel it, but you will get over it. The day after my foreclosure had discharged, and I learned all this from Trump, you all. Back in the day, Trump was the cool person on the block. You listen to him because he had filed bankruptcy so much and he was still thriving after bankruptcy. So the day after I was discharged, I went to the bank and I wanted to apply for a secured credit card. And I remember the teller telling me, well, you're not going to qualify. And I said, how about you run that application? And so one day after being discharged from bankruptcy, I was able to get a secured credit card, started building my credit back, and within 3 years, I was able to buy another residence. So I tell you, there is life after bankruptcy. There is life after foreclosure. But what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to admit some things. If I had to do it all over again, what I would tell people is to fight for your house. Right now, it's just totally different. Back then, you could buy a house for $60,000 or $70,000. You could start over again. You're not going to get that right now. And so if you're struggling to pay for your mortgage, which could be anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 per month, if you're struggling to pay for your mortgage, how are you going to pay first, last, month's rent, security deposits, wherever they're charging you in order to move into someone's apartment? And so the companies are willing to work with you if you just confront it. Don't do like I did. Don't run away. I need you to work with the companies to see what they can do to help you save your house. See what programs are out there. No one wants to see you homeless. I am going to really I want you to really consider staying in your home. Don't let it go into foreclosure. Fight the foreclosure. Those processes can take 2 or 3 years. Do you know how much money you could have saved up in 2 or 3 years? You can literally go out and buy you another house. It may be a smaller house, but needless to say, if you just go ahead and move out of your house and let the bank have it, someone else is just going to buy it from under you, short sale. They're not going to give you what it's worth, but yet you still have to have somewhere to live, and you're still spending $1,000 a month, thousands of dollars per month. So I would highly encourage you to work with your bank to find whatever those resources are in your community that will help you prevent foreclosure. And then if you absolutely have to sell, that's when you can reach out to a realtor such as myself or whatever realtors in your community who can assist you. But try to stay in your home, and that's coming from a realtor, because before I was ever a realtor, I was a single mom going through foreclosure and bankruptcy. And so you can survive foreclosures. You can survive bankruptcy. I need you to take an honest look at your budget. I need you to actually start saving some money, limiting your expenses. And by golly, if you need to work 2 jobs, you work 2 jobs. Hustling backwards is being in love with a business, being in love with yourself so much until you can't let somebody see you go work a 9 to 5. That is hustling backwards. My son needs to eat. I'm going to work wherever I need to work. Look, I teach CNAs. I teach all type of people. CNAs make good money. You go in there, you take care of people, you wipe their butt, you assist them, but at the end of the day, your kids are eating. So don't be so prideful until you can't go back to a 9 to 5, because people are going to talk about you. They're also going to talk about you when they just go to the public records and see that you have foreclosures, or that you have an eviction, or that you've lost everything and now they see you Ubering. So they're going to talk about you whether you're doing good or bad. But I need you to be a step ahead. You see what's happening. You see it's not getting any better right now. So don't be afraid to go work that second job, to go ahead and do what you need to do. Maybe make the employment primary and your business secondary. And then don't forget, foreclosure is not the end of the world. Bankruptcy is not the end of the world. There are many companies out there who will assist those who have bankruptcies or less than perfect credit histories. You just have to be willing to reach out for help. All right, so go ahead. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them below. I'm not perfect, neither are you. I just wanted to go out and hopefully encourage someone to let them know that you can survive bankruptcy. You can survive foreclosure. It is not the end of the world. It's all about your mindset. And one thing about it is that you make the material items. The items don't make you, so you can lose everything. And a hustler is going to do what a hustlers do. A hustler will get it back again. And so I believe that's you. All right, everybody. It's Nurse Eunice. Have a great